Yo, James D. Buzzard, and today is day number 21 of Vlogmas. We have been officially vlogging for a full 21 days non-stop, which I think is insane. But today I have some bittersweet news for us, and that is I am selling my A6400. But it's really only for a couple of reasons, and the biggest reason being that this camera no longer works in my professional workflow. When I very first got the Sony A6400, I got it to be a B cam to my Sony A7 III. Now, a year or so ago when this camera first came out and I pre-ordered it to be a B cam, this camera quickly became one of my absolute favorite cameras that I had ever shot on. The autofocus is ridiculously good. The color science is awesome and is actually a little bit better, I would say, than the Sony A7 III, especially as far as skin tones. This camera lasts forever on battery. The battery life is actually surprisingly long for using the Sony MPW50 batteries. So I was extremely surprised with the battery life, the autofocus, honestly just almost everything with this camera I was extremely impressed with. The touch to focus functionality on here is awesome. So you can just literally tap on the screen, it automatically tracks and locks on to whatever you touch. That feature is ridiculously nice. So this camera quickly became my B cam, my stagnant angle, my tripod camera, because I could rely on this camera to always lock onto somebody's face and keep tracking them while I'm getting all of my more creative shots on my Sony A7 III, typically on a gimbal or on a monopod or something like that. Sometimes even on like a slider, it just depends on what we're doing. But when I'm shooting with two cameras, that was my typical setup. I had my A6400 on a tripod or on sticks, and I had my Sony A7 III in my hands because I can't always trust the autofocus on this when I have it on a tripod. So I always like to man this camera, and this camera only has a 30-minute record limit. And with that, I just like to have the A7 III in my hands so that I can, one, monitor how the autofocus is doing, and two, so that I can make sure that when that 30-minute time limit comes around, I can quickly hit record if we're doing some kind of long form content. But with that being said, guys, this camera, I ended up buying a ton of extra stuff for it, specifically lenses. So because I was already shooting full frame, I already had a bunch of really nice lenses, Sigma glass, Tamron glass, that works phenomenally well on full frame, but when you put it on a crop sensor body, you guys are dealing with that 1.5 crop factor. And for me, when you guys put a 28mm on here, it actually turns it more to a 42mm, which 42mm, you're almost at nifty 50 now. And for me, if I'm shooting in a tight place, or I'm shooting in a place where I'm up against a wall or something like that, a 42mm really might not work. And then I needed to buy wider lenses. So I'm buying 12mm, and I'm buying I bought the 18-105 because I thought that would be an awesome lens for, you know, everything. And it was an awesome lens for everything, but that lens is $600. And now we're talking, I spent $900 on a body, $600 on one of the pieces of glass that I bought. I ended up buying 3 different lenses for this camera when I already have those exact same equivalent lenses for this camera. So now I'm doubling up on glass, I'm doubling up on other accessories and stuff like that, and I already have all the full frame glass and everything that I need for my A7 III. So really, I just bought this camera for that unlimited record limit. And it worked awesome for a long period of time, but looking back at it, it just was not cost efficient to buy this camera when I could have just bought a second A7 III. But, you know, I didn't want to buy the A7 III at the time because it doesn't have that unlimited record limit. So there's a ton of reasons that I did buy this, and this was an awesome camera for a really, really long time. But, you know, I ended up buying batteries, lenses, just, you know, everything for this camera. And when I could have just bought an A7 III, another A7 III, and I already had everything ready to go on the shelf for it. So that's my biggest reason for selling this camera. It's not the fact that the A6400 is a is a bad camera, or you can't use it professionally, or anything like that. I think this camera is absolutely amazing, and especially for what I primarily do is a lot of online content, online advertising, social media advertisements, just all sorts of stuff like that. A lot of corporate events and stuff like that, online courses, just all sorts of stuff. So this camera worked for a really long time, but now moving into 2021, I think there are some amazing new options, specifically from Sony. So I'm gonna make you guys wait until Thursday's live stream to see exactly what I got coming in the mail right now to the house. But until then, guys, I'm gonna have to list this guy up for sale. And since I've been talking to a few of my friends about selling some of my camera gear that I have, somebody already offered me a really good price for my A7 III. So I had to say yes. So we may be looking at buying 2 new cameras, but I'm gonna check out what I got on Thursday, see if it works for me. I already know it's going to be a rental beast. So I got it, 1 for my rental company, 2, I got it for me to use for all of my production work, and I think it's going to be an amazing in-studio camera specifically as well. So I think that this new camera that I got is going to be an all-around beast, and I totally slept on the launch of it. I was excited for it, but at the same time, I was kind of overlooked it, and I know that there's some other Sony cameras coming out in 2021 that I'm excited for as well. But I think that the camera that I need is already out, already available, and so I picked one up to try out. We're gonna try it out on Thursday in the live stream. So anyways, guys, today is day number 21 of Vlogmas. Already, I cannot believe it, guys. 21 full days, 3 full weeks with vlogs under our belts every single day. So thank you guys for being here. I will see you guys tomorrow for day number 22 and our final week of Vlogmas. But until then, guys, peace.
Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds